Zachary, thoughts on Disney delaying the release schedule for the upcoming MCU shows? So, as has been the news since May, we got some strikes going on. It started with the writers, then it moved on to the actors a couple months after that. And so now we're at a point in time where no scripts for movies or TV shows have been written for 4 months, and no actors are acting on struck projects for 2 months. And that's a third of a year of major disruption, and then a sixth of major disruption. And it looks like video games are going to join in soon too. So pretty wild stuff. And even just yesterday, I was at GalaxyCon, and I wasn't able to go to too many, or the only panel I really went to was Charlie Cox, Daredevil, Vincent D'Onofrio, Kingpin, and Kristen Ritter, Jessica Jones. They did a panel, the three of them together, and it started off and said, "You are not allowed to ask about Daredevil, Jessica Jones, or any of the projects they've been a part of that are struck. You can't talk about any of it." And so even at these Comic Cons, they can't talk about these projects. That has a huge, gigantic trickle down for the industry as they're realizing they can't finish certain shows. Nothing's going to be ready to come out in a little bit. So they have things that are shot that maybe they want to postpone them. They have things that are done. They're ready to release, but actors can't promote them. So yesterday, Stephen Amell, who was Arrow, currently has a show called Heels, was at this event. I got my picture taken with him. And he's kind of famous for saying he didn't really want the Actors Guild to strike because he said that it was too narrow focused and it doesn't hurt everyone equally. The reason he said that is because he's on a show that doesn't have a huge budget, doesn't have a big marketing budget, and have production issues. So he can't leverage his fame, his social media, and his ability to go promote things to promote his show. So his show might get canceled because of the strikes. There's a lot of these moving parts involved in all of this where all the studios are trying to figure out, how do we keep our shows successful? How do we keep them coming out? How do we keep making money while we have a strike going on and they're not working with the actors or the writers up to this point in time? So as of this last week, or a few days ago, Disney put out this huge announcement, massive delays, bunch of shows are pulled from the schedule, a couple of them pushed back 2-3 months, and some of them are indefinitely delayed. Daredevil, indefinitely delayed. Ironheart, indefinitely delayed, even though I believe reports are saying it's already fully shot. Indefinitely delayed. My guess a little bit about what's going on here is that Disney knows they are in trouble. They know that their strategy with Disney Plus hasn't worked the way that they wanted it to work. And even Bob Iger has openly stated in interviews over the last couple of months that they have brand dilution.
Now, there's clearly creativity and content that they create that is core to Disney, but the distribution model, the business model that forms the underpinning of that business and that has delivered great profits over the years is definitely broken. And we have to call it like it is, and that's part of the transformative work we're doing.
Star Wars and Marvel primarily have put out so much content, treating it like content, in and of itself that's a problem, to where they're no longer events. It's no longer must watch. It's no longer the water cooler show. There's just too much. And because there's so much, each individual thing is less special. And because there's so much, the overall quality feels like it's dipping. And whether that means, and I would say that like there are more missed projects than there should be, but also the ability to be cohesive. It's much more difficult when you're putting out this much stuff and have brand continuity of quality of what to expect. All of that's dipping. And I think Bob Iger is being like, okay, Kevin, looks like we screwed up. We told you had to crank out 4 shows and 4 movies every year. That didn't lead to the results we thought it was going to lead to. How do we fix this? And the strikes, as much as they're a big, gigantic problem, I think they also help Disney out a little bit because they give them one more reason, one more opportunity to kind of delay, rethink things, re-strategize, come up with some new plan. I don't have any individual thoughts on, oh man, Echo was delayed 2 months. Oh man, Daredevil's indefinitely delayed. I assumed that when the strikes started. And it was already so far off in the distance. I don't have any individual opinions on, oh man, this one thing. It's all the same category. Strikes are happening. Delays are going to happen. It's part of the game. If they don't resolve it real quick, delays are going to happen. If no one's writing, no one's filming shows and movies, delays are coming. So I just assume that. So I think in the case of Marvel in particular, I'm hoping, thinking, whatever it is, they're rethinking their strategies. And hopefully they're learning, growing on all of this stuff. Most of these clips are pulled from my weekly Patreon live stream. Join at any level and you can join the chat and ask all the questions you want. That's for as little as $2 per month. For $5 per month, you can get your name on my end card. For $25 per month, you can have a monthly video chat with me. Link is in the description for more details, and keep talking movies and TV too much.